Welcome back to Moviedrome, which begins with tonight's double bill about night and fog. It's easy to forget what a movie prodigy John Carpenter, the director of the picture we're about to watch, was. He made amateur fantasy films as a kid, directed 12 shorts whilst at the University of Southern California, did Dark Star at 26, the Hard Hawks influenced Assault on Precinct 13 at 28, and Halloween at the grand old age of 30. The latter cost $300,000 and took $60 million worldwide, 200 times its budget. That made it the most profitable indie picture of all time. The success didn't seem to go to Carpenter's head, however, because his next picture, released in 1980 when he was 32, was another low-budget film. It was set in a small fishing town, had a literary introduction, was influenced by the creepy old RKO pictures, and was more interested in atmosphere than shock. The film was The Fog. To be honest, I didn't think much of it when I rewatched it with a bunch of friends recently, but its rhythms and voices have stayed in my head. Watch the title sequence and you know you're in Carpenter land. It's quiet, at night, in a nothing sort of place. Long lens shots by Dean Cundey, who went on to shoot Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit and Jurassic Park, pick out details. Things begin to happen, engines switch on, the dormant menace in things erupts. Carpenter's then new wife, Adrienne Barbeau, plays the main character in the film, a late-night DJ. Her sexy voice is like the thoughts in the head of the sleeping town.
Well, stay up with me, and I'll figure out some way to keep you occupied.
This is a lovely, delicately disturbing opening to the picture, perhaps influenced by one of Carpenter's heroes, moody RKO director Jacques Tourneur. Then, in my opinion, the style of the film begins to coarsen. You have to be childlike in a way to enjoy Carpenter's films. You have to want to be spooked, and his work is seldom satirical. But as the fog goes on, as the men from the bottom of the sea lumber through their mayhem, it loses me. Carpenter repeats the famous corpse reviving behind Jamie Lee Curtis scene from Halloween, and here it feels creatively lazy. And when we finally see the men from the fog, they're like big dafties, something from Abbott and Costello Meets the Mummy, or Michael Jackson's ridiculous Thriller video. It's as if, despite their dismembering fishhooks, Carpenter wants to make them absurd, almost gentle. Despite these risible B-movie scenes, I think The Fog is a good picture, and the reason I do so is because, like other Carpenter films, it feels edgily metaphorical. Its story of a sleepy town terrorized because it was founded on an injustice is a great American early 80s idea for a picture, I think.
I tell myself that Blake's gold will allow the church to be built and our small settlement to become a township, but it does not soothe the horror that I feel being an accomplice to murder.
The genocide of Native Americans committed by the first incomers has, of course, troubled the liberal American psyche for years. That this anxiety could bubble up in a Freudian nightmare is what makes The Fog exciting. Carpenter surely had this idea of the moral flaw in the foundations of America in mind when he co-wrote the film with his producer, Deborah Hill. The filmmakers underline their political intent by casting John Houseman as the storyteller at the start. Houseman was a great liberal of the American stage and screen and was Orson Welles' producing and sometimes writing partner during their leftist New Deal period. He and Welles later fell out when Houseman claimed that he oversaw the writing of Citizen Kane. Here is the film, Turn Up Your Volume. The music track is by John Carpenter too.